Everybody laughed until they realized he wasn't joking. Because what if IShowSpeed actually meant it? Not content, not views, not entertainment, the Olympics. Seriously. And that's when this story becomes dangerous because speed isn't normal. Nothing about him is normal. His energy isn't normal. His competitiveness isn't normal. His obsession isn't normal. And his influence, definitely not normal. Time magazine named him one of the 100 most influential people in sports. Let that sink in. Not streamers, sports. At 20 years old, that alone sounds impossible. But here's what's crazier. He already raced Noah Lyles. He already met Usain Bolt, and he already talks about the Olympics. Most people hear that and laugh. But people laughed before. They laughed at YouTubers boxing. They laughed at athletes changing sports. They laughed at impossible dreams. Until suddenly, they weren't laughing anymore. Because strange things happen when obsessed people focus. And Speed is obsessed. Anybody who watches him knows when Speed wants something, he goes all in, which creates a terrifying question. What if you focus that obsession on sprinting? Not streaming, not football, not gaming. One thing, speed. Because believe it or not, he's already fast. Really fast. Not Olympic fast. Not yet. But fast enough to make people curious. And curiosity is dangerous because curiosity becomes hope. And hopes become belief. Then suddenly, people start asking questions. What if? What if Speed actually trained professionally? What if he hired elite coaches? What if he changed his diet? What if he treat sprinting like content creation? Every day, every hour, every obsession. Because nobody who works obsession and Speed lives off obsession. Then imagine this headline. Usain Bolt agrees to help train IShowSpeed. The internet explode. Millions of fans enter track and field overnight. Millions. Because that's Speed's superpower. Attention. People follow him everywhere. And sports needs attention. Track and field needs attention. Imagine training videos. Imagine race breakdowns. Imagine Speed suffering through workouts. Imagine Speed chasing tenths of seconds. Viewers become invested, not because he's perfect, because he's trying. And trying creates stories. Stories create fans. Fans create moments. Then something unexpected happens. He improves a lot. Not overnight, but enough. Enough to shock people. Enough to silence jokers. Enough to make coaches curious because talent matters, but effort matters too. And effort compounds. Then comes the controversy. People hate it. Some athletes hate it. Traditional fans hate it. They call it disrespectful. They call it a circus. They call it content. But here's the problem. Speed keeps improving, and numbers don't lie. Clocks don't lie. Times don't care about opinions, which creates debate. Could he actually do it? Could a streamer become a professional athlete? Because we've never seen this before. Not really. Not at this level. Then imagine Noah Lyles entered the story. Because Noah understands attention. Noah understands entertainment. Noah understands criticism. And suddenly, the two biggest personalities in track collide. The sport wins. Viewership explodes. Young fans enter track. Sponsors notice. Network notice. Track becomes cool again. And that's powerful. But then comes the craziest possibility, the Olympics. Not winning, not medals, qualifying. Because qualifying alone changes history. Nobody expects Olympic gold. Nobody expects world records. But qualifying. Now that's interesting. Because impossible dreams are addictive. People love miracles. People love underdogs. People love stories. And Speed understands stories better than almost anyone alive. He built an empire from stories. Now imagine building one on a track. Then imagine the opening ceremonies, billions watching, athletes from around the world, and among them, IShowSpeed. The same kid who barked on live streams, the same kid who screamed into cameras, the same kid everyone laughed at, standing beside Olympians, not as content, as an athlete. That image alone becomes legendary because it represents something bigger. Not speed, not fame, possibility. Because whether people love him or hate him, nobody can ignore him. And maybe that's why this story feels so fascinating. Because deep down, people don't really want to know if Speed can win. They want to know if dreams have limits. Because maybe, just maybe, the craziest dream isn't impossible. Maybe it just sounds ridiculous until somebody actually does it. And if IShowSpeed ever took track and field seriously, he wouldn't just change his life, he might change the sport itself, because millions would suddenly discover something beautiful: the race, the chase, the struggle, and the dream. And that's something track and field desperately needs, because sometimes the future of a sport don't arrive quietly. Sometimes it arrives barking. If you like the content, please like and subscribe.